Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tabs and I am the maker and creator behind Safari Stitches. And today, well, this week is going to be quite hectic, I can't lie. So obviously we are now in September. It is September 2nd today. I didn't film anything yesterday. We got back from the beach and anyways, it's just been a bit crazy. So I wanted to touch base with you guys because, like I said, the next, I guess from now until the first weekend in December is going to be just like pretty much nonstop. Mostly because I have 4 large markets within the span of 7 weeks. The first 2 that I have are back-to-back weekends, and they're double booth spaces. So the first booth space is a 10 by 20 space. The second one is 12 by 24. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I'm regretting the first one that's 10 by 20 because it's a market I've never done before, and I didn't really have a reason to justify it other than the fact that it's costing me the same to have a double booth that it does to have a single booth at most of my other markets. So I was just like, why not? I don't really know. Don't ask me. I don't want to hear it. We'll see if I regret it the day of. I'm really hoping I won't. So at some point, probably in the next couple of weeks, we are going to do a 10 by 20 mock setup. Even though my second market that's a double booth is 12 by 24, I'm going to still stay within the 10 by 20. I think I might spread out a little bit, but I'm not purchasing 2 12 by 12 tents. It's just not going to happen. I have a 10 by 10 tent, and then I think I have one that I can borrow that's also 10 by 10. I'm not investing more money in my setup. So anyways, with that said, I need to make my market prep list, and I'm going to pretend that the markets are separate, but, well, how do I describe how I'm basically going to make inventory for both markets, meaning I'm probably going to make 50% more than I normally would. So like, for example, I have 10 possums that I usually keep in stock. I'm going to make 15. That way, if I sold out of 10 at the first market, I still have 5 to take to the next market, if that makes sense. And the second market was my second best holiday market last year. I think it was either my second or third best market of the year last year. And I did a lot of markets last year. So we are in market prep mode. I've been applying for so many tester calls, and I have been so incredibly fortunate to get picked for quite a few of them that I've applied for. And while it is stressful, I'm obviously extremely grateful, and I'm excited. Like, you guys saw the 2 Beck Made Studio ones that I did last week, and I did the Polly the Pig. That was 3 testers in a week. 3 tester calls in a week that I got picked for, and I currently am in 2 ongoing right now that I haven't finished yet. One of them has to be done by Thursday, 2 days from today, because today's Tuesday. So I'm gonna move on here because I need to stop filming and get some stuff done, get my pattern test done. But I wanted to show you guys, so we obviously went out of town last weekend, and I did take stuff with me because the weather wasn't super great. Well, it was predicted to not be super great, so I wanted to make sure that I brought stuff to work on just in case we were stuck inside. And we were kind of, and then early in the mornings, my fiance went off fishing, and I just sat at the house and just like crocheted and worked on some stuff. So here's what I got done. I didn't get done like a ton, but I got done quite a lot for what I was planning on. I definitely overpacked yarn. which is something that I do quite frequently. But the first thing that I worked on were these little chubby birds. These are by the Cozy Stitch, and obviously they don't have wings yet because I ran out of the brown color, and the brown is Steel Cut Oats. I can't think of the color, but all three of these are Premier Basics Chenille. I'm kind of trying to move more towards those colors because I'm running out of a lot of my neutral Bernat colors, and I can't get them locally. My Walmart is generally fairly well stocked, but it's mostly of like dark gray, black, white, and then some of the variegated colors that I really like. They don't really have very many of like the neutral brown tones, but I got 3 of these chubby chick bodies finished, which means I I still have a lot to go because I am sold out of the mallard version. I have 5 white, I think, in stock, but no mallards. And like I said, I want to make 50% more, which means I need 15 of each for the upcoming markets. So I have a long way to go. I still need to make 12 and obviously finish their little wings. But I got 3 of those guys done. And then I did work on a new to me pattern and a new to me designer. So I love making snugglers. Snugglers are one of my absolute favorite things to make. And I saw this and I'm obsessed. So I made, this is Loops to Lovies. And this is the little giraffe snuggler by Loops to Lovies. I still haven't put the eyes on, so she's going to unfortunately go in my whip bucket, which is also overflowing with whips. The birds obviously are also going in my whip bucket, but she is absolutely adorable and it worked up super quick. I'm obsessed with the face shape. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I love this pattern. So I definitely need to go and explore some more patterns by Loops to Lovies because honestly, impeccable patterns. Super, super cute. I love this pattern so much. I also haven't put the little tuft on the tail yet. So those are the 4 things that I got. Those are the 4 plushies. Then I sold quite a few pumpkins at my palmistry from last week's video. And so I'm also trying to stash bust a bunch of yarn, which is perfect because it's Stash Bust September. Let me know in the comments if you're working on Stash Bust September. I'm planning on doing a fun Stash Bust September challenge video coming up in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Oopsies, stay tuned for that. But I cranked out one of the yarns that I'm trying to destash right now that I just have I have like 3 boxes full that were up at our storage unit is Lion Brand Thick and Quick. And then there were some Joann's there was a Joann's, it was a KC brand from Joann's that went on clearance several times. And then obviously when they closed, they had some of it on clearance again as well. So I just kind of stocked up because I like making my pumpkins out of them. And I had this really pretty, and this is Wilder and Jean Co. Their pumpkin pattern, and it comes with a mini, which is this one, a small, a medium, and then there is a large size as well, but I ran out. I only had 1 skein of the pink, and I started making the large, but then realized that I was going to run out of yarn, so I stopped and moved on to a different color. I think I have another skein of pink here somewhere, but I didn't want to get almost all the way through it and then get really mad because I didn't have enough yarn to finish it. So I moved on and I started in on another skein of that yarn, and I was able to get a mini. And then I started working on a small. I'm almost done. I just have to slip stitch it closed and then crochet around the bottom. But I got 5 little pumpkin body things, whatever, finish, ready to be stuffed pretty much. And then what else did I do? Oh, I started on one of my pattern tests. This is my pattern test. And I will obviously show that to you once I'm finished with it, but I'm not done with it, obviously. And then when we got back yesterday, one of the things that I needed to start working on are custom orders for Etsy, which, surprise, surprise, they're all loaf cats. I currently have 12 loaf cats that I need to get done. My goal is to get 6 of them finished this week, and I've got one finished completely, and it's kind of a fun one. It's another unique loaf cat based on what I had to make. So here is the loaf cat itself. Adorable. Super cute. And then it has a pirate costume. I just made it like this little, like a top that kind of just goes over it. And I was sent a picture of this cat in the pirate costume, and it was just basically a black vest with a red band at the bottom and then a little pirate hat. So I made that. It's got loops to attach to its little nubs. I did crochet like a little loop to go around the tail just to make it fit a little bit better and just to kind of help orient it. And then obviously we made him or her a little tricorn hat as well to go with her little pirate costume. Honestly, like if you had told me a year ago when I first started, because I looked at my statistics from last month, so August, and my sales from last month were up almost 2,000%. And the reason why was because I only started selling on Etsy, like my custom loaf cats. The first one I ever sold was in August of last year. So I made one sale of loaf cats in August of last year. It went up like, I think it was almost 2,000% or something crazy for this year. And I told my fiance, I was like, if that's an indication of how, because I remember last year, especially November and early December, I was making so many loaf cats and trying to get them out on time, and I was scrambling. And if my August last year was a single solitary loaf cat, and then it increased to the point of stress for the rest of the year, and then this year I made that many more sales of loaf cats, and it's only August, I can only imagine what it's going to be like. Hopefully, it's obviously a really good problem to have. I'm not, like, by any stretch trying to complain. I'm grateful because, honestly, the loaf cats are the only thing making me money right now. Obviously, my Palm Street was really good. But Palm Street's not something that I can do all the time, just like markets. I can't do them all the time, especially because I'm trying to write patterns myself, and I can't do that when I'm this busy. So anyways, that is kind of my update for right now. I am going to get this loaf cat. He's already been approved by my customer, so I'm going to get him packaged up and just out of my way off my order queue on Etsy. And then I'm almost finished with another one, so I'm going to get that wrapped up tonight as well. And probably sit down and make my market prep list, because I need to go through all these boxes. I've got like probably about 2 full boxes of things that are finished that I haven't photographed or gotten ready for markets yet, and I need to go ahead and do that. So just deep breaths. We're going to make it. It's going to be fine. I just need to stay on top of things. That's really the goal. But I basically want to make my market prep list and then like basically add up however many plushies I need to make total and divide that by how many weeks I have left. The problem that I'm going to run into is in 2 weeks from tomorrow, we're going out of the country for a week and a half. And I'm not going to be able to carry on a ton of yarn and stuffing and all the supplies that I need to make things. Hold on. Anyways, I'm just not going to have the space in my suitcase or my carry-on to have a bunch of supplies to make things. So I'm anticipating not crocheting a whole lot for that week and a half. The only thing I could think of is maybe like the pumpkins. I could potentially take yarn to make pumpkins because I don't need to take stuffing for those, and just like crank out some pumpkins. That could be an option. I'm not really sure. If you have any other suggestions of things that I could make in full without needing to take stuffing, and I'm not like, I don't want to make a wearable because I have 3 sweaters that still need to be finished. I don't want to do blankets because that's just not what I want to do. But if you have like smaller projects that I would be able to finish without closing, and then I can just stuff them when I get home, let a girl know. I'm just scared of taking off a week and a half from market prepping with the amount of markets that I have coming up. So, but again, I'm just trying to stay positive and not get overwhelmed. I have several new products that I'm trying to launch before the first market, which I guess I should tell you, the first market that I have scheduled is October 25th. So I do have 2 months just under 2 months to get ready for it, which seems like a long time, but really it's only like 6 weeks. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to stop yapping, get this guy packaged up, work on the other loaf cat, get that finished and hopefully packed up and ready to go. And then I don't know where I'm going to go from there because I also have stuff to get done around the house too. So lots to do. It's going to be a bit of a crazy week. I apologize in advance if it's all over the place, but hopefully you have your little yarn goblin nest set up on your couch or your chair or wherever you're crocheting. Maybe you have a yarn goblin bag and you're out in public. I don't know. But hopefully you've got plenty to work on. I don't know. This may be a long one. It may not be. I don't really know. I'm not sure where this is going, but hopefully it's a productive week for everybody. And yeah. Okay. Hello. I think it's been, I think I filmed yesterday. Didn't I? Maybe. I don't remember. Either way, it has been a little bit since I last filmed and updated you. I did finish that loaf cap that I was working on. I already packed it up. Sorry. I have since finished 2 more loaf cats. I'm trying so hard to stay on top of my orders, even though I have extended my shipping and handling time to 2 to 3 weeks. So I have plenty of time to get these cats done. I've said this so many times on here, so I apologize that I'm repeating myself, but since I'm going out of the country in literally less than 2 weeks, I want to make sure that I'm ahead of the game. So I finished this guy this morning. He technically doesn't need to be shipped until the 15th, but he's done and he's going out tomorrow. So we are, what even is the date today? I don't know. My days are running together at this point. It's the 4th. So we are, 8 days? No, what am I talking about? 11? It's been one of those weeks. We are 11 days ahead. My goal is still to get 6 total done this week to ship out. I'm at 4 so far. So since I got to 4 and it's Thursday, I decided to take a little bit of a break because I have 2 more orders that need to go out on Palm Street. Everything else has been shipped. And one order is a little Pikachu Minimon, and I haven't made that yet. It's on my list to get done probably tomorrow, I think, before I have to leave to go drop my car off to get it repaired again. But the other order had 2 pumpkins that needed to be made, and I make my pumpkins out of Lion Brand Thick and Quick, and then I also make them out of this KC brand, which is, or I guess was, a Joann's brand. And I want to say it was like at some point last year, or it might have been early. No, it was probably no, it was definitely last year. It was like summer-ish last year. They clearanced out a bunch of their knit and crochet brand. I think that's what the KNC stands for. Their KNC brand yarn, as well as some of the Lion brand, like the Woolies stuff. Like that's a clearance tag. They clearanced out a bunch of it. So I went a little bit crazy, and I'll just pop you up here. All 4 of those boxes have that yarn, those 2 brands specifically in them. And the only thing I make, and I think I've already mentioned this, the only thing I make right now out of that yarn because is pumpkins. And the reason is because I know a lot of people have allergies to wool, and the Woolies Thick and Quick does have, I can read you the fiber content. It has 20% wool, which is low on the end of having wool, but people are really sensitive to wool, so I don't want to make beanies and stuff with that yarn. It's just my preference. I don't want to do it. So the only thing I can make is the pumpkins. And then I have a Christmas tree pillow that I made last year that is still hanging out. Actually, I think I made it even for my first Christmas market. And it's one of my more expensive items, priced at $60, which for a pillow is quite a lot. So that is still hanging around. I do have some of this yarn in like red and white. So I do kind of want to make a candy cane pillow to kind of go with the Christmas tree pillow that I made with the red and white. So those are accounted for, but because I needed to make the custom orders for my Palm Street, I decided that I was going to turn today into stash busting because I don't need 4 boxes of this yarn. That is just so insane to me. I honestly, genuinely did not realize that I had this much of this yarn. So far today I have made, I feel like I'm moving around a lot, and I apologize if I'm making you dizzy or whatever, but sorry. I made the 2 custom pumpkins, so obviously they're not stuffed and finished yet, but this was this really, really pretty, like, multicolored yarn, and she picked these while I was live on Palm Street, so she got to see them unmade, and then she requested a bobble pumpkin in the darker version of that yarn, so I got those. The bobble stitch is a free pattern from Cameron's Cute Creations. I think it's like a small, medium, and large bobble pumpkin. It's free. I think all you have to do is sign up for her email list and it gets sent to you. So I've been mostly focusing on the ribbed stitched pumpkins because those just seem a little bit more neutral, I guess. And then I've been sprinkling in some bobble pumpkins every so often. So let me just show you everything that I made today because I have made a ton of pumpkin shells. So we'll start off. I've got 2 of the large ribbed pumpkins here, one in orange and then one in this really pretty neutral. I have 3 medium-sized, and I've got like a tan, a pink, and the orange. I have 4 of the small-sized pumpkin. Yeah, these are the small size. Again, just kind of a lot of the same colors just because I'm trying to have like one of each color. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the minis done. And then I have this one random pink pumpkin that doesn't match any of the other sizes. I think it's supposed to be a small, but I think I might have missed a round. I have used a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus, I think 2 of these skeins didn't have labels on them. So I'm pretty sure I've used, what did I just count? 8 skeins of this yarn so far, which is a lot, but also seems like not a lot. And I'm ending up with like a lot of tiny remnants. So my plan is to just kind of work my way through all of this yarn. And then when I'm finished, I'm going to make patchy pumpkins. So I'm basically just going to take all of my little scraps and just start cranking out little patchy pumpkins and basically do like 2 or 3 rounds per color and then just kind of work my way through it like that. The only yarns that I am not using for the pumpkins, I am not using any of my reds and like the red and cream that I just showed you because I want to leave those for Christmas items. And then I've got this black sparkle. I don't know. I might use it for some pumpkins. I feel like that could be kind of fun, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I've got a couple of like weird, like there's a mustard color in there. I don't really know. I mean, mustard I feel like is kind of a popular color. So I'm probably just going to make pumpkins out of all of this yarn. This comes out on Monday. So I'm probably only going to be doing pumpkins today. I might bleed into tomorrow because I really just want to use up some of this yarn. But if you have anything else that is not a wearable that you make using Woolies Thick and Quick, please drop your suggestions in the comments because I'm going to end up with a ton of pumpkins. I think I have 16 total made so far, and I have some left over from my Palm Street Live, like maybe 7 or 8. So we're already up over 20 pumpkins, and that's quite a lot. So if you have any other suggestions of things that I could make with it, please let me know. I was thinking like planter pot covers that you could just put your pot in, and it would just be like a cute little textured pot cover. But I would have to be really intentional with the sizes that I choose to make with that, because obviously there's so many different sized plant pots. So I don't know, but that was an idea that I did think of. I know I could make baskets. I just don't know that baskets would sell super well, so I don't really want to waste. Like, I know pumpkins are very hit or miss for me anyways, but they do sell. I think in October last year, I sold like 20 pumpkins, which is a lot. So, plus I can sell them into November all the way up until Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any other suggestions of things that I could make, I would love to hear them because this is going to be a lot of pumpkins. And I'm probably going to spend the rest of today just cranking out pumpkins, and then tomorrow will probably be stuff and finish off day, and then I've got to pull out my cinnamon sticks and get cinnamon sticks put in there, and then tie ribbon. I usually add ribbon details. This is a finished one, and it has a cute little blue and orange ribbon on the stem, and they're removable. So I usually just like go through. I have like, I think I bought like a sample pack of ribbons from Michael's last year in clearance. It was clearanced out because it was fall, so that it was all like 60 or 70% off or something. And I just bought a pack of the fall themed stuff, and I just have that left over from last year. So I'll probably just go through that and just pick random ones to go on all of these pumpkins. But that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So this is kind of turned into like a little fun stash bust video, I guess. I'm going to go and set up like a little yarn goblin nest on the couch full of this yarn and watch TV and just crank these out. That's where I'm at. I am going to go get myself comfortable on the couch, and I will touch base with you guys later on when I am done for the evening. I'm also a little bit hungry, so I might pause really quick and have a little snacky snack. Hello and good morning, my friends. It has been a few days since I last filmed. This week has been a little bit nuts. We are not surprised in the slightest that the headlight on my car cost me a lot of money to replace. So, I don't know if I've even explained this, but my headlight went out maybe 2 weeks ago, and it hasn't been a problem because I leave the house when it's light out. Actually, no, sorry. It went out the Thursday, maybe the Wednesday before we left to go to the beach. And it wasn't a problem. I mean, it was a problem that Friday when we left because we left in the dark. But since then, going to work and stuff, I leave when it's light out or getting light at least, so it's not a huge deal. So I needed to get it replaced. Well, apparently my headlights on my vehicle, because my car is newer, you can't just pop the bulb out and replace it by yourself. So I had to take it to a mechanic to get the light fixture fully replaced, the whole assembly for the headlight. And as you can imagine, it was an LED. I don't know if anybody in here, this is probably way too much detail. Y'all don't care. But they had to replace the whole light assembly, and it's an LED light assembly. And it was very expensive. Way more expensive than I was really ready for or anticipating. And I didn't have a choice. And we called around, and it was similar prices to everywhere. And in the grand scheme of things, we could have bought the assembly online somewhere on our own and replaced it. But y'all know we have a lot going on, and it just wasn't realistic for me to do that. So, yeah, fun times. Thrilled about it. Truly thrilled. So I say all that just to say thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos, because when you're watching it, you get free entertainment, and I also get a little bit of kickback from you watching the ads that pop up on here, and all of that is helping to pay for that kind of stuff. So much appreciated. Thank you for being here, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because we'd love to have you. Anyways, now that I've rambled on for 3 minutes about my headlight, I wanted to give you guys an update because I had a couple of patterns go live this week. And of course, I want to link them all for you so you guys can go and get in on the action because they're pretty cute. The first one, you guys have already seen this guy. This is Totodile. It is a pattern pack for the mini Mons that are by Beck Made Studio. This pattern is officially live. I will link it below. I'm biased because I'm obsessed with these patterns, but biased in a good way because these are some of my best sellers at my markets in person. So yeah. And my last palm tree, I sold 2 of the little mini Mons. So that's kind of exciting as well. So go make sure you grab this pattern pack. The second pattern test that I had was a really exciting one because this was, I'm knocking things everywhere. I have never made a pattern by this pattern designer before, but I watch her on YouTube and I saw that she was coming out with this line of patterns, and the most recent one that went up, I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to make this guy. And I recently just got into not full-blown anime, but like Studio Ghibli, etc. And she posted a No Face and Haku pattern tester call, and I applied, and this is Miss A Crochet, I guess that would help. Anna, Miss A Crochet, posted this pattern tester call, and I applied to test Haku, and I got picked, and he is so cute. Look at how adorable he is. He is just a absolute chunk, and I'm absolutely here for it. Oopsies. I'm absolutely here for it. You do make pretty much all of the pieces separately. No, I say pretty much. You make all of the pieces separately, and then you sew them on. And It does obviously take some time, but quite frankly, I think it is so worth the end result because he is absolutely adorable. I love him. I love him so much. So thank you so much to Beck and Anna for having me as a tester for your new patterns. It was super fun. It was lovely meeting Anna. And I mean, I've worked with Beck before, so no surprise there that I'm obsessed. So anyways, those two patterns will be linked below for you to grab. And obviously, Anna also released the no face version, similar body shape, but obviously no face. That pattern is also released as well, so you can grab both right now. Okay, next update. Where's my... Right. The other thing that I've been cranking out is pumpkins. As you guys know, I have not filmed a whole lot of the pumpkins because it's just a lot of repetition and just making stuff. I did go through, I think, 9 skeins of the not loops and threads, Lion brand Thick and Quick, and then the KNC brand that was a Joann's brand. And this one, these are the custom pumpkins for my palmistry order. I still need to put the stems on all of these, but they are at least made. And then I also finished off 3 of the large pumpkins. These were the only large ones I made. And then I finished 4 of the medium-sized pumpkins, 2 baubles and 2 regular. I still have, I think, 1 medium to put together, and then I still have all of the smalls and the minis to put together. That was kind of what I had the mental capacity to get done the other night. I have not touched pumpkins since because I've been in a couple of other tester calls and market prepping and all that sorts of fun stuff. So I'm trying to and custom orders, I'm trying to kind of jump from task to task in an efficient way so that I can stay on top of orders, stay on top of pattern tests, and obviously get market prepping done at the same time. So the task for later today is going to be getting the stems put on those and get the ribbons out and put those, all of the ones that are put together and stuffed, put away. I still, like I said, I still have the mini smalls and 1 more medium to put together. I don't know if I'll do that before I start adding stems and ribbons, but that's still out there to do. So the other thing that I did, let me change my battery in my camera really quick because it is about to die. Hold on. Okay, so before we get into the next segment of this video, I got an exciting package. You may recognize this. I have a problem. I constantly buy safety eyes and then I don't use them because I like looking at them because they're very pretty and I need to start using them. But I got another package from Christine. And if you don't know who Christine is, it's What's Up Cupcake. She makes and sells safety eyes and Ami sticks and really cute stuff, and I'm obsessed. And I have a lot of safety eyes. If you've watched previous videos, you know that I have a lot of safety eyes. She is my main supplier of painted safety eyes. I don't really get them from anywhere else, but you always get a little freebie in your packages, and it comes with cutie little 3D printed stitch markers, which we love. Can never have too many stitch markers, truly. And then some cutie little stickers. These are adorable. I'm obsessed. Little cow and a little squishmallow bear. And then, of course, here is all the information for her shop. But I will, of course, be linking this below so you can go snag yourself some. She sells on Etsy, and then she does lives on Palm Street, and they're always a really good time, and she does really fun giveaways. This order is actually from Palm Street. Oh my gosh, I got another cutie little sticker. Favorite crazy cat lady. Darn right. Anyway. I do feel like a crazy cat lady, truly. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I got first. So this is, I believe, mostly safety eyes, which, shocker. I feel like everything in my house is dying right now. I don't know where it cut off, but I got these two pairs. These are 25mm. The top is Heart of Stone, which is modeled after, I believe, Tamlin from ACOTAR. If you know, you know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Christine, but they're gorgeous. And then the bottom one is Fairy Tale, which is like really nice, like light pink, but kind of with like a really subtle orange undertone, which I love. And then the last two pairs that I got were some 30mm Showgirl. I believe this was a brand new drop for her Palm Street. Stunning. It's like an orangey red color. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm obsessed. I can't wait to use these. I'm excited. Now, this next thing that I got, if you don't use a safety eye installer and you specifically use Syncorize, safety eye tools are a game changer, regardless of what kind you get. I know in my Amazon storefront, I have the wooden, it's like a wooden ball with a metal post on the end, and you can use that. And I used to use those, and they work really, really well. However, Christine, she 3D prints safety eye installers, and I know you guys have seen my Totoro. I bought a Totoro safety eye installer, and I literally use it all the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a second one as backup, so I can have one in like my crochet bag that I pack to go places, and then one just at home. So I grabbed a little capybara. Look how cute. It's so stinking cute. I'm obsessed. But she has like a little tutorial video on how to use these. They're super easy to use. You don't even need like a hard surface to push down on. I will sometimes just put the safety eye back here and just literally hold the safety eye with my fingers and push the safety eye installer with my two thumbs from behind, and they pop right on. Not a problem at all. But that's my haul from Christine. Thank you so much. You know I'm obsessed. No regrets. And I promise I will start using them. Okay, so now we're going to get into the next little portion of this. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm really sorry. I came unprepared with the stupid mic dying. But I have seen people being able to find the new Demi Purl yarn at Michael's, and I feel a little bit late to the game here because I feel like a lot of people have found it. But my Michael's is usually one of the last ones to stock anything new. So I was really excited when I walked into Michael's last week and I found some. So I did grab, I have a little mini yarn haul for you. So, yarn haul. And right now, I don't know if how long the sale is going on, so this may be moot information. But I grabbed one of the Karen Cakes Cinnamon Swirl in this stunning colorway because I want to make a Jovi cardigan out of this color. I love it. It's pretty. It's gorgeous. So I snagged that. I'm hoping this is enough. I think it will be, but you never really know. And then, of course, I'm running low on some of my neutrals, so I grabbed pale gray, and I believe this is just dark gray. Hold on. Dark Gulf gray. So I grabbed those too to restock. And then I only grabbed 3 colors of the Demi Pearl because I am trying to be a little bit more intentional with what I buy versus all that you can see. So the and I'm gonna kind of include like a little review of this yarn in this video because I feel like that's kind of helpful, and I'm gonna compare it to some of the other yarns that I have just so you guys can have an idea if you haven't been able to snag any yet, or if you're on the fence and you haven't seen it in stores yet. So it is a size 6, and visually looking at it right now, I would say it is a mix between chenille and blanket yarn. I would say it definitely leans more blanket yarn in texture, but this is way softer than some of the yarns that I've think like Bernat Baby Blanket Soft is kind of what I'm thinking. It's super soft. The only complaint that I have, I mean, obviously it's a new yarn, so they're not going to have every color under the sun to start out with, but they don't have a white, which I was kind of like, that's an interesting color to not have, is just white, just plain bleach white. So I don't know, take that for what it's worth, but I did get this color, which is Blanc de Blanc, but it's definitely kind of like a cream color. It's really, really pretty. It is a pretty cream color. I have similar colors. I'll grab the Bernat Blanket one, but let me just show you what I got first, and then we can compare. I got the pink, and this is the color Cashmere Rose. This is really pretty. I really like this pink shade. I don't think I have anything quite like this shade in Bernat. There is something similar in Chenille Basics, or Basic Chenille, so I will grab that to compare. And then, of course, I just grabbed the black because I feel like black is the one that I use the most when I buy yarn. This one has a very different texture, which I feel like if you've been buying yarn for a while, you know, like any brand of yarn, when you buy black, it's generally a little bit weirder of a texture. Like these colors are a lot softer. I don't really know if you'll be able to see a textural difference because black, but there is a textural difference in this black compared to, you could kind of see it, compared to the other two. So it's still very soft, but it's definitely a little bit denser, I guess would be the word, than the other two. So let me grab some yarn to compare it to. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna start with the creams. So here is the Blanc de Blanc, which is cream from the Demi Purl. The top here is cream from Bernat. It could be Winter White. I don't know off the top of my head. And then we've got the same from Premier Basic Chenille on the bottom. So different colors. This one is definitely a lot whiter than, like, it's kind of like, it is very similar to the Bernat. It has a little bit more of a yellow color to it. It's kind of hard to tell. The textures are very different, I will say. So let me find a tail. And I use mostly Bernat blanket, so that's kind of really what I'm gonna compare. So that's the Demi Purl. That is the Bernat blanket. So the Demi Purl is definitely thicker than Bernat blanket, and I can guarantee you it's thicker than Basic Chenille. So there's all three. So this one is the Demi Purl, this is the Bernat blanket, and then this is Basics Chenille. So it looks like Demi Purl is slightly bigger than Bernat, which is slightly bigger than than Basics Chenille. So that's kind of good to know, honestly. This is, I don't have anything close to this shade in my stash from Bernat, but this is Bubblegum by Premier Basic Chenille. And then here it is compared to Demi Purl in, what did I say? Cashmere Rose? Yeah. So fairly similar. Premier Basics is definitely a lot brighter in person. This is a little bit more muted, which I kind of like. So there's that. Obviously you could see quite a big texture difference between the two. So those are some comparisons. Now we're gonna put this yarn to the test. I recently bought Zadie, the baby zebra snuggler pattern by Loops to Lovies. Here it is. We're gonna make a little zebra baby out of this yarn and just see how it works out. And I'm kind of excited about it. So I'm gonna grab my hooks and all my supplies and I will get to making it, and then I will give you a review afterwards.
She's used to falling all alone, watching her animated shows. You'll find her dancing in the streets with her headphones on a Saturday night. She's gonna keep you on your toes while she's out rescuing the world. And if you're counting on her to keep a secret, then you're out of your mind. She'll outdrink you over.
Okay, straight off the bat, I am noticing already that there are some inconsistencies. So I don't know if you're really going to be able to tell, but there is a very large textural difference between, there's a really good shot of the black. It's very smooth and more dense compared to the white or cream. There's kind of a good shot to see it right there. So I don't know. And even just like touching it like this, the white area is way thinner than the black. So that's already a little, which black yarn is hard anyways. I feel like the black yarn in any brand is a little bit more dense. The other thing, could not for the life of me find a center pull on that one, but I found a center pull on the white one easily. Don't know. Let's see. Kind of got a center pull. I see the tail right there. Right there. So, anyways, I just wanted to pop on and make, and just kind of give my, after making one body part, just kind of like my initial thoughts. So I'm gonna keep going.
She's used to falling all alone, watching her animated shows. You'll find her dancing in the streets with her headphones on a Saturday night. She's gonna keep you on your toes while she's out rescuing the world. And if you're counting on her to keep a secret, then you're out of your mind. She'll outdrink you, oversleep to the sound of 17 alarms. Lost in something, found her blushing, hope she stays here in my arms. I don't know why she likes me, it's my luck, or probably the timing. I don't know why she likes me, says I'm cool, then goes into hiding. She's a movie and a soundtrack all in one, future and a flashback. I don't know why she likes me, I'm a 6 and she's like a 90. She's probably somewhere on the beach or museums talking history, relying on grape shit and rolling Adderall to get by. She's got ADHD.
Okay, I got the little body done. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this yarn, honestly. The black is so hard to work with. It hurts my hands. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. The white is shedding like crazy, which I'm not used to with blanket yarn. I know I said earlier, like, I guess that does kind of fall in line with what I said about it being like a mix between blanket yarn and chenille yarn. The black definitely feels like dense blanket yarn. The white and the pink are definitely like a mix of the two as far as texture goes. It feels different from Bernat blanket yarn. But like I said, the black is really, really difficult to work with. The white is shedding like crazy. I'm absolutely covered in fluff. But, I mean, it's cute. It comes out a good size. This is the smaller version of that little baby zebra snuggler. There is, like, a bigger version available. I have both. I bought the combo pack. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on passing my final judgments until I finish the zebra. But I don't know that this is going to be a yarn that's going to be regularly in my rotation as of right now.
She's used to falling all alone, watching her animated shows. You'll find her dancing in the streets with her headphones on a Saturday night. She's gonna keep you on your toes while she's out rescuing the world. And if you're counting on her to keep a secret, then you're out of your mind. She'll outdrink you, oversleep to the sound of 17 alarms. Lost in something, found her blushing, hope she stays here in my arms. I don't know why she likes me, it's my luck, or probably the timing. I don't know why she likes me, says I'm cool, then goes into hiding. She's a movie and a soundtrack all in one, future and a flashback. I don't know why she likes me, I'm a 6 and she's like a 90. She's probably somewhere on the beach or museums talking history, relying on grape shit and rolling Adderall to get by. She's got ADHD, she's got everything I need, and we got a million things to do before we die. She's a thriller, loves the killers, photo shoots and small guitars. Lost in something, found her blushing, hope she stays here in my arms, please. I don't know why she likes me, it's my luck, or probably the timing. I don't know why she likes me, says I'm cool, then goes into hiding. She's a movie and a soundtrack all in one.
Okay, the mic is back in business. Alright, I finished this little zebra. First off, I just want to start by saying pattern 10 out of 10. Super cute, super easy, super quick. I think like finishing the head, crocheting in the ears, obviously crocheting the body in like 15 minutes maybe. Super fast, super quick pattern. Obviously, absolutely. Just a little adorable little tum-tum. Super cute pattern. As for the yarn, I want to kind of expand. It's not as soft as my Bernat like baby blanket and some of the skeins of Premier Basic Chenille. The black particularly is not as soft. It is very dense. It's giving like old Bernat formula. The fact that they've come out with Demi Purl, which is in effect a blanket yarn, I will be curious to see what happens with the Bernat blanket offerings that they have. And this is pure speculation. Please don't read anything into this statement. But I feel like if they have come out with their own thicker blanket yarn, that is kind of in direct competition with Bernat blanket. I will be curious to see if that leads to anything. And I will leave it at that. I think the color options, I'm going to just kind of rank a few different categories here. The color options, I'm going to give like a 6 out of 10. The colors that they do have are very, very pretty, particularly the color Cork. Obsessed. It's gorgeous. The colors that they do have are very, very pretty, but there's not a ton of them, which is why I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10, I think. I think if it's received well, they'll probably expand on that. I would love to see like just a solid white color. I'm trying to think of what other colors I saw while I was there. I mean, there was greens, blues, yellows, pinks, cream, black. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. And I think there was a red. So there's a decent color selection, but there's not a ton. I guess if it's received well, hopefully they will expand on that so that there can be a lot more like wide range of plushies made with this yarn. Cost is quite nice, actually. Hold on, I'm gonna like give you a breakdown of the cost. Okay, so Demi Purl is a polyester yarn. It comes in 152 yards or 8.8 ounces, and it is $9.99, which is fairly cost effective because it is quite a lot. I don't know. I haven't made any larger projects. I don't really know how far this will stretch, but I don't feel like I really made a dent at all in these skeins, which granted this was tiny, so it's probably not going to make that much of a dent. Right now, let's see. And then obviously Bernat blanket, their regular price is like $13. You do get a little bit more yarn. They're typically 10.5 ounces. Hold on, I have a brand new skein right here. This is the mystical stuff. And this is 10.5 ounces or 220 yards. So you're looking at, stop it. 220 yards, 152. So you do get more with this. Obviously, the Demi Purl, as I showed you earlier, is a thicker yarn. I'll pop up the cost per ounce breakdown right here, and I'll add in Premier Basics chenille to that list as well, and just kind of show you the cost per ounce so that you can kind of decide, because Bernat yarn for me is really hard for me to find locally. My Walmart stocks some of the more basic colors, and then they've got some of the multi-variegated yarns in Bernat. I don't love their selection, and then my Michaels is useless when it comes to keeping yarn in stock. Right now, shockingly, they have a lot of the mystical line in stock, but they don't have a lot of, like, I can't just go, like, Joann's used to have an entire wall of Bernat blanket, and I could buy pretty much any color that I wanted, and now majority of the time I'm having to find it online. Yarnspirations rarely ever has any sales. Amazon sells it, but it's not always a super great deal. Like, you might get like $1, like if you buy it in packs of 2, like the 2-pack or whatever, you might get like $1 off, but it's really not on sale. Premier Basics chenille is less than $10 a skein, but it's almost half the size of a burnout blanket skein. So I don't know. It just kind of depends. I'm still, to this day, even though Joann's has been gone for a while, I am still having a hard time navigating having to order yarn to have everything in stock that I need to have in stock. It's been a crazy struggle. I find myself ordering yarn well in advance of when I actually need it, and then I end up overstocked on colors. I've got you can kind of, not really, but kind of see right here, this cube right here. I have 5 skeins of the Premier Basics chenille in that cream color that I showed you guys earlier when I was comparing it to Demi Purl, and I don't need that much in stock, but I over-ordered because I panicked, which could be quite detrimental to the bottom line of my business, obviously, because if I spend more than I make, then I'm not profitable, which is not sustainable for long periods of time. So I don't know. Cost effectiveness, I'll pop up on the screen what my rating is, because it's going to just depend on how the cost per ounce breaks down based on the cost per ounce. As far as the softness goes, I'm probably going to rank that maybe a 6 out of 10. I wasn't crazy about the texture of this yarn. It's just kind of a strange texture. It was super easy to make the magic ring with, I will say that. I didn't have any problems whatsoever cinching the circle closed, so that's definitely a bonus. I guess that's more related to crochetability. I don't know. But it is very soft. If you are looking for a local place to get softer blanket yarn, this would be a really great one. It's a great option. And I do think it is cost effective. Even though Michael's doesn't always have sales going on in store, they generally have a coupon online for either 40% off of one full priced item, which in the grand scheme of things, 40% off one single item isn't really that great of a deal, unless you're buying one of the larger items, not necessarily a skein of yarn. But they do run online sales fairly frequently, and I have been known to take advantage of the online coupons and do an in-store pickup. That also counts for as an online order, even though you're going to pick it up in person. So you could, in theory, order it online and then go pick it up same day, depending on where you are and how quickly they could process orders. I've definitely done that several times to take advantage of that coupon that they offer, because it's not valid in stores. As far as crochetability, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I can't lie. It was not fun to crochet with, and I'm sure if I used it a little bit more frequently, it would get easier and easier. That black yarn was terrible. I remember looking at the skeins when I was in the store picking out the colors that I wanted to buy, and all of the black ones that they had felt the same. So it's just really thick. Making the bobble stitches for this nose was terrible. It barely fit all the double crochets on my hook, just because it's so bulky. And since it's big, I use Burnett and chenille, Premier Basic chenille, and those are thinner, and for me they're a lot easier to use. And getting thicker yarn, whenever I try to use the Loops and Threads chenille home or Sweet Snuggles, the thicker, the regular sized ones, it hurts my hands so much to crochet with that. And that is kind of what I feel with this yarn in particular. So I don't know if it will become a regular rotation in my yarn stash. For right now, I think it's not. I'm just going to leave it alone. I might try a couple of other colors to see if maybe the different color families have different characteristics, I guess, as far as like greens, blues, because I know dye, like color dye, can really affect the consistency of fibers. So that's something that I'm also kind of taking into consideration. But I think overall, I would give this yarn a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5, but it's okay. If you're in a pinch and you need some local yarn to pick up, I think it's a great option. It is soft and it does like come out pretty clean. Like these stitches are pretty clean as far as like crocheting with it goes. So overall, like maybe a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Again, I have so many other options that I crochet with already. I don't know that I'm going to bring this in, mostly because it's a lot thicker than what I'm used to. So I don't know that you can mix and match this easily. Definitely not the black. Maybe the other colors might mix and match okay, but I have found that the newer formula for Bernat Blanket is a little bit thinner than it used to be. So it's probably going to be a lot harder to mix and match with this yarn. So take that for what it is. That is the end of this segment. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried Demi Purl and if you like it or not, or maybe you completely disagree with everything I've said and you absolutely hate it or you absolutely love it. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like I'm on the fence for right now, but I think for right now, I am going to call this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on this week's video. I apologize that it was so all over the place. It has been an insane week, and I fear that it's going to get worse this upcoming week as we get ready to go out of town. I do have a couple of videos that I'm in the process of filming that will go up while I'm out of town, so stay tuned because I'm really excited about one of them for sure. And then I have a couple of other pattern tests to show you guys in the next video, which again is super exciting. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know what you're working on in the comments as well. So hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.